Hey everyone, my name is Nicole Gibbons. I'm an interior designer and the founder and CEO of Claire, a modern new paint brand. I'm so excited to be joining Design Milk today for DMTV Milkshake. I'm going to answer some fun questions that are folded up. I don't know what they are. I've got them here in this little bowl, which I got at the Old Souk in Dubai. So it's one of my favorite things. It's got a little, if you can see it, florally pattern. So we're going to get right into these questions. Let's see. Okay, first question. What place has colors that speak most directly to your soul? Is there a destination you enjoy specifically because of its color palette? Absolutely. I love the beach. I'm a water baby. There is something so calming and rejuvenating about being by the ocean. And I also think the colors that you can see, when you're on a beach by the ocean, the neutrals that come from the sand, the blues that come from the ocean and the sky are some of the most beautiful colors that you'll find straight from nature, but also some of the most beautiful colors that work universally in your homes. There's a reason why we all love neutrals. They're universally flattering. You can pair it with any color. And then when it comes to more vibrant hues, people love blues. And I think there's a reason. There's something so calming and serene about shades of blue. So whenever I'm by the water, by the ocean, I'm so inspired. I love the Caribbean. Being a New Yorker, it's so easy to get there. So whenever, in a pre-pandemic world, whenever I need a little getaway, I usually travel to the Caribbean. Some of my favorite places are Anguilla, Antigua. Turks and Caicos has just the most beautiful crystal blue water. I also like the Caribbean side of Mexico. The Yucatan Peninsula has some beautiful beaches. So yeah, any time I'm by the ocean, I feel just so whole and my best self. So yeah, look to the ocean for your paint color palette. Okay, next question. Has there ever been a color you've tried to recapture in paint but can't quite get? Well, I like to think at Claire we have some of the most beautifully curated colors. To narrow down to our palette of colors, I reviewed about 600 colors to launch our first 55, and then the remainder of our colors were chosen with the help of our customers and fans. So when it comes to our interpretation of color, I really feel like I've been able to achieve the perfect palette because I'm a designer and I really understand color. Even in my previous business when I was doing a lot of work for clients, the ability to understand color and in order to develop custom colors is also something that I really enjoyed. And so, I don't think there's been a color that I couldn't quite get or couldn't quite figure out. I think with modern technology and really good color formulation, you can achieve that perfect shade, or go to Claire and find your perfect color there. What brand would be at the top of your list to collaborate with? So while not exactly a consumer product brand, Beyonce is my favorite brand. And if I had an opportunity to collaborate with anyone, I would try to find some sort of way to collaborate with Beyonce. Okay, next question. What was the most valuable thing you brought from your time working in corporate fashion to building your own blog, business, and brand? So when I worked in corporate fashion, I actually worked in public relations and I worked for a huge brand that did a lot of entertainment-driven campaigns. So we weren't just doing traditional PR, pitching our products to magazines and whatnot. We were doing television specials and entertainment shows, and it was and red carpet parties, and it was like this whole crazy world. But I think having the opportunity to network across many different genres of the media and working on these huge initiatives, I think what I really learned the most is the art of pitching, the art of telling really compelling stories. And I think those skills have served me really well as I've built my own business, because every step in my career, not only have I had the pleasure of being able to follow my passion, I also had the skills to be able to get recognition for my work and really get my work out there on a broader scale. And that has really served me well. So yeah, the art of networking and the art of, telling a great story. What institution, whether an iconic retailer, government body, or similar, would you most like to remake from a color perspective? This is a really hard question. I love architecture and I love history, and there's so many historical buildings that I think having the opportunity to kind of reimagine would be so much fun. I'm going to choose something kind of close to home. I lived in the 140s in Harlem for about 15 or so years, and I lived right around the corner from the Hamilton House, which is the home that Alexander Hamilton lived in. And it's this beautiful old home with full of interesting architecture and really historic colors. The facade of the home is a shade of yellow. You know, all of the historic colors from that age fill the home. But I think I'd love and I'm also obsessed with Hamilton, by the way. I love the musical. I know all the words. I, saw it on Broadway. I've watched it a million times on Disney Plus. So that's part of why I chose this, but I would love the opportunity to reimagine what his home could have looked like from a color perspective. I know there were tons of historians involved in, reviving the Hamilton House, but if I could put my own twist on that, that would be incredible and such a fun project. What problem does Claire Paint solve for its users and in the paint industry? So at Claire, we make paint shopping really simple. When I started this company, what I realized is that traditional paint brands were pretty archaic. No one was selling paint online, and the shopping experience was overwhelming. Thousands of colors, too much choice. And as a designer, I know how much people really appreciate a curated selection and that expert guidance to help them through the process. So I developed Claire to simplify the process of paint shopping. We've curated the most beautiful colors, so it's a really limited color palette that makes it super easy to find a color you love and takes all the guesswork out of the process. Our paint samples are also really innovative. They're peel and stick color squares. So you peel them off like a sticker, put them right on your wall, and you can see exactly what the color looks like without having to, paint swatches like the old school way, wait for them to dry, and do all the manual labor and hassle. And we deliver everything to your door, and it's a really seamless online experience. We've got a technology tool called Color Genius to help you choose a color if you need help, and it's like having a designer help you pick a paint color. So we've really simplified the entire shopping experience. We've modernized it and made it a really pleasant experience. So the next time you have a paint project, come check us out at Claire. Okay, last question. This is a long one, so let's see how we do. The last 5 months have turned our relationship with our homes upside down. What, if any, do you think could be some positive long-term responses? Will we be forced to reckon with our work-life balance in a deeper way? Will we become accustomed to our homes as a place where we spend the huge majority of our time awake rather than our offices? I personally, like many of you, am now working from home, and I've never spent more time in my own home as I have this year. As a busy New Yorker, I'm always on the go. I used to be in my office more hours than I'm willing to admit. On the weekends, I'm running errands, I'm going to brunch with friends and moving and shaking, and never really getting to enjoy home. And I forgot how much joy my home brings me. And like many of you, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was, sort of rushing to make all of these little changes to make being at home all day a better experience. I was organizing and cleaning and buying plants and all of these little things to make my space feel really good, as well as making updates to make my work from home space more functional. So I do think we're looking at our homes in a different way. We're looking at our homes to serve multiple functions. So not just the place where we live and lie and sleep and eat, it's now where we're working and where we're spending really all of our time. So if I could leave you with anything, it's to really take a look at your home and think about what are the aspects of your home that brings you joy. If there are areas of your home that don't bring you joy, change them. Color is a great place to start. Painting is one of the easiest and least expensive things that you could do to transform your space. And if you're working from home, try to carve out a little area of your home that can be a place where you can separate your work from the rest of your life, because I think working from home really does challenge your work-life balance. it's hard to turn it off when, your home and your work are so intertwined. But yeah, I would just say really there's no better feeling than coming home to a space that you love and being in a space that brings you joy. So think about that and consider making some upgrades to make your space feel good. Thanks so much to Design Milk for having me. You can follow me at Nicole Gibbons Style and Claire at Claire Paint. Hope to see you guys over there. Bye.